Hey everyone, it's yours cuddly, Kitwana. For over 2 decades, Mattel and Hasbro had the license to manufacture Lion King action figures until in 2015, with the release of the Lion Guard, First Play took over the license for both the Lion Guard and the Lion King. They produced sets like this big Lion Guard action figure play set, or one that just fell down and we looked at in episode number 34, which was the collectible figurine set for the live action remake. Very nice figures that of course could also double as generic lion play figures. And what we are looking at in today's episode is basically the opposite to the live action remake figures. It's this set from 2019 as well, when the animated classic celebrated the 25th anniversary. It's the animated classic 5-piece Lion King collectible figurine set. Not action figures, but collectible figurines, because they do not have action features. Well, all of them except one, and which one actually is an action figure in this set we will see later in this video. First, let's take a look at the box. Comes in an attractive window display box. It's got a little sticker advertising the new feature, which was meant to be the live action remake, of course. And you can see the figures really well. They used some old artwork of young Simba and Timon and Pumbaa. On the back there's a rather nice photograph of them, of all the figures in a diorama. You can see them in front of a digital background that has Pride Rock in it. Really nice. And you can see all the prototypes of the figures. The bottom has the legal stuff, such as the UPC code and manufacturer information. I find it funny that they are at a place where the street is called T-Rex Avenue in Florida. It's an interesting street name. So we are going to unbox the set. Fortunately, I have a second one, and if you want to keep that nice photograph, you simply cut along at the top, and then you open it like this, and then you can cut here at the bottom, along here. Then you can keep that for your Lion King merchandise collection. The figures simply come out like this, and we can put that away. And we can look at our 5 figures. Well, of course we have Rafiki. Rafiki is the only figure that is mounted on a base. He comes with his stick, but the stick is not separate like they did on the old vintage 1994 Mattel figures. So this is it's molded as one piece basically, and attached to the base. The face is really nice, accurate coloring. The tail is not movable. The figure looks really nice. That's the bottom of the base with the manufacturer info. And to put it mildly, Fast Play does not use the nicest factories in China. Let's put it that way. That's why some of these, the Fast Play toys feel rather cheap and not very durable. But I think these figures are actually not too bad. Of course, they do feel cheaper than the Mattel action figures, the earlier ones. But these are still pretty good. At least they're they're pretty movie accurate. Same goes for Timon. This is the smallest figure. It's basically pretty soft rubber. But I have to say the detailing on him is very nice, considering it's such a small figure. Nice face details, his feet and arms. It's a funny pose and a funny face. Pretty good. Let's even say very good. Same goes for the coloring on its back. You can see the stripes and the red hair. And its tail, of course, black tip at the end of the tail. It has not been spared, I'm glad. Set up these figurines here in front of me. And we have our first lion. We have adult Simba, and it is interesting if you look at his face, and you will notice if you have watched the Lion Guard series, they molded him after the Lion Guard adult Simba, the animated Simba in the Lion Guard, and I don't really like that. I think they gave him a horrible face in this series. I prefer the adult Simba in the original animated 1994 classic and also in Simba's Pride a lot more than the ugly version the animators created for the Lion Guard. And sadly the collectible figurine for the animated Lion King classic looks like the Lion Guard Simba. That doesn't really fit. It's got his brown mane. To say the paint job is really good. The quality of the paint job is good. Accurate yellow coloring. And there's the tail on its back, pretty upright. It's not movable. No detailing on his feet, no paw pads or nothing. It's a pretty heavy figure though. But this is disappointing that they used the Lion Guard Simba face, which I'm not really a friend of. Actually, before we get to Nala, I want to show you how these collectible figures scale up to the action figures. Here's the Fast Play adult Simba action figure. It's posable and has action features. Now putting these together, the collectible figure we are looking at today are around 3 inches. The action figures are around 4 inches. They're pretty much the same like the Mattel figures 20 years ago. So hopefully this gives you an idea. You can also see the differences between the faces. I think the action figure here is much more accurate, much more like adult Simba we have seen in the animated classic Lion King. And then we get to Nala, supposed to be adult Nala. What's What's interesting on this figure is they always seem to have some trouble with Nala's face, especially the eyes. Recent Nala figures always look kind of spooky, I think. I'm not sure why it's that. But let's take a look from the right hand side of this figure, and you can see there's basically 1, 2, 3, 4 separate pieces. The right hand legs are separate pieces molded onto the body, as is the head. Yet still it is not an action figure. It doesn't move, it doesn't pose or anything. You can't move, you can't pose the tail either. Interesting manufacturing technique. Let's compare her as well with the Nala figure that was included in the same set like this adult Simba action figure. Let's put these together next to each other. You can see it's a pretty similar mold, but not exactly the same. If we look at the other side of the larger Nala figure, you can see that only her right foreleg is a separate piece, and the head and the rest of the body, including 3 legs, are one piece. That's interesting. I think the tail is separate as well, of course, yeah. Tail is a separately molded piece as well. It's interesting to see how Cosplay uses its molds. Although I have read in an annual report by Cosplay that they actually do not own their molds, so they contract everything out to some Chinese factories and do not own the molds, unlike Mattel or Hasbro or the larger toy companies. This is also an interesting fact. And then we have Pumbaa. And Pumbaa is actually an action figure, even though he's included in this set with all the collectible figures. He has basically 2 action features. You can open its mouth with no teeth in there. Mattel did at least mold 1 teeth in Pumbaa's mouth. Cosplay did not. But all 4 legs are poseable as well, so you can have Pumbaa sit, or display him kind of like a pouncing position. The tail does move. The tail does move as well. So here are our figures again. All 5 figures. We have Rafiki, Timon, adult Simba, Nala, and Pumbaa. And it's one last thing that is interesting to see. Let me get the big lion guard set again and compare Pumbaa and Timon with this set. And you can see the Timon and Pumbaa actually are the same molds. They reused the molds for the collectible figurine set. But you can see the paint job is different. One of them are clearly more of a lighter color, and that applies to both figures. You can see Pumbaa here, and the same goes for Timon. It's interesting that they that it is so inconsistent. Why did they decide to use other colors 4 years later. This set is from, I think it's 2015 or 2016 when the Lion Guard was on TV. Yet still, I would say these figures are pretty nice. They do scale well with the Pride Rock playset, the classic Pride Rock playset from Mattel from 1994, which you can see behind me. They actually can stand on top of Pride Rock since they are a bit smaller than the vintage action figures, or even the ones made by Just Play. These ones. These are a bit too large. Playset. You can still find them on eBay rather easily. They have not increased in value. You can still find them for around $20 or so. I am seeing them as well at toywiz.com. A bit too expensive, $39 at the moment. So if you cannot find it on eBay, but they're pretty much always on eBay, you can get them from Toywiz. The figures, I said they are around 3 inches, 7 to 9 centimeters, slightly smaller than the action figures. Not a lot of playability, possibility except for Pumbaa, but they are rather nice display figures, and I definitely add them to my Lion King loose action figure collection, which is in here in this bag. So I think for a future episode I am going to show you what I have in here. It's a couple dozen figures, and now there's 5 more. There we go. So thank you so much for watching. I think I'm going to play a little bit with my Lion King action figures and the Pride Rock playset behind me. And next weekend, next Saturday, we are going to look at another Lion King action figure, and it will be a brand new action figure. The Disney Store Toy Box Adult Simba, coming next Saturday here on Kitwana's Toys. So stay tuned. Enjoy your weekend and next week, and we will see us next Saturday. Goodbye.